with the University of Utah is Devin Dampier, a top 10 quarterback.
We want to talk about a little bit about University of Utah football. We talked a little bit last week about who we see as the standouts and stuff like that. But we wanted to dive a little bit more deeper into that. There was an article on athlonsports.com that states that Utah's incoming quarterback transfer, Devin Dampier, is going to be a top 10 quarterback in the country this year.
Yeah, he's listed as a top 10 returning quarterback. So, of all quarterbacks that started at least one game in 2024, he's listed as one of the top 10 that's returning. Now, this is very interesting. I don't know if you actually clicked in. Did you see the AB or the CBS article that linked to this? Okay.
Yes.
I thought it was really interesting though, because some of the other quarterbacks on this list, just to name a few, right? Cade Klubnik from Clemson,
right?
Drew Allar from Penn State. Now, these are both teams that made the college football playoff last year. Arch Manning from Texas. Now, Arch Manning has started a couple collegiate games, but to say that, it's more like his name brings so much pedigree to what he's done. He hasn't done a whole lot. And then Carson Beck in Miami. All of these guys I just think it's really kind of interesting because this kind of tells you how uncertain some of these starting quarterbacks are, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think the part you touched on that was the most important was returning. Yeah, it's interesting that this guy, not only did he put him in the top 10, but he put him ninth. So he's, ninth out of the list of top 10. And this was Tom Forelli of CBS Sports that did this article. We'll link to the article in the description below if we could be bothered to remember to do it. But this is the statement there. Odds are strong that you didn't watch Devin Dampier much at New Mexico last season, and that's your loss. If dictionaries still existed, which I love that line, they would put a fun college quarterback in them. Devin Dampier's face would be there, chucking bombs, scrambling, doing crazy stuff, and taking years off the coach's life. Dampier did it all, and he had to do it. He had to, too. New Mexico's defense was awful. Now he's at Utah, where he'll be working with the same offensive coordinator he played for at New Mexico and Jason Beck. And I can't wait to see him get to work in the Big 12. And I think the two things that he brings up in that statement is very, very true. New Mexico's defense was terrible. The Lobos did not have a good defensive backing for that offense. And like you did mention before, they were 23rd ranked in the country in offense last year. Yeah, I went with the offensive rating, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, man. What do you think about this? What do you think about the fact that Devin Dampier's made this impression already?
I think it's fantastic to hear that this is a double-edged sword, right? Because it's great to have a quarterback that is highly touted and in a high regard, and he's starting to get some preseason praise. But on the same end, we had that same thing last season. Cam Rising was bringing this Utah team home and, a preseason Big 12 championship. And so all of these things feel eerily similar, and it's kind of a cause for concern.
That is not the take I thought you'd have on this.
Yeah. I love it because, I do think Devin Dampier is going to be a fantastic addition for Utah. This dude is electric, and he's elusive, and he's a really fun player to watch. I think the story that's actually told here in the top 9 is really how unpredictable and wide open the quarterback rankings are in college football, right? There's no guys that are it's absolutely really early, right? But we're talking guys that haven't actually done a whole lot that are on this top 10 ranking. We're all the way down to Garrett Nussmeier from LSU. They had a not so great season last year, and even when he came in, he pulled him out a little bit, and the dude's got a great arm. He's a great decision maker, but that LSU team really struggled. Sawyer Robertson from Baylor is on this list at number 6. We watched a couple games with Sawyer Robertson at quarterback. Mm-hmm. He progressed really well throughout last year, but I think it just says how kind of unpredictable some of the quarterback situation is. So for Devin Dampier to get here, it's great, and I love it because obviously I want the Utes to have a great quarterback, but I think it does kind of tell the story that, experience and team situation, all of these things are kind of weighted into some of these preseason evaluations, and it it's really anyone's game. You know what I mean? Like you can't really tell what it's going to be until you jump on the field.
Yeah.
So
Tom also stated in the article, the first thing he mentioned in the article was a disclaimer that this is not a most scientific approach, and he's using the 2025 Heisman Trophy odds as a
absolutely
variable in this.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like you're saying there, I'm feeling it, man. From the last 2 years, you know, it's a little bit too much where we're always just super hyped about the incoming quarterback. You know, and the worst part is the last 2 years, we actually had a proven one who's won a Pac-12 title, you know, 2 of them. Yes, exactly. One of them he didn't finish, but that's okay. He got us there, right?
He still got us there. Absolutely. And that first one, he got us all the way there and then got hurt.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's basically my point there, man. I'm going to need to see it before I buy in. You know, stealing, you know, one of your favorite sayings is that this duo of Jason Beck and Devin Dampier hasn't played anybody yet.
Yeah.
You know, they were ranked 23rd on offense, according to ESPN. New Mexico played in the Mountain West Conference. They didn't really play, you know, a lot of, you know, who did they play last year that was really relevant? You know, they were even 5th in their own conference last year. You know, again, going back to the fact that they had a lousy defense probably says that. I do expect them, with the Utah, having him in the Utah offense is going to be better than we've had the last 2 years. I think simply having an average quarterback under center for Utah will give them a chance to have a 10-win season last year if they had even an average quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm very excited for this, though, but I do need to pump the brakes, just like you mentioned there, a little bit on this because we've heard this song and dance before. I'm spot on with you on this one. So excited, looking forward to it. We need to see them in a, you know, Power 5 conference.
Yeah, absolutely.
If there's really going to be something to get excited about.
So with that being said, I guess I was kind of a little bit surprised by a couple of names that were left off of this list. Number one is Sam Levitt from ASU, who had a fantastic season with ASU last year. Led them one game from playing for a national championship. Didn't make the top 10 after he led him through the Big 12 conference, won it. Sam Levitt was vital to this team being successful, right? He was on the field.
Yeah,
he was healthy most of the season.
Yeah.
And the next one is, what about Jake Retzloff, who led BYU to a 10-2 season?
That's a very good
narrowly missed the college football playoff, stomps Colorado in their bowl game.
How many Big 12 quarterbacks made the list?
Devin Dampier, Sawyer Robertson.
You can't count Devin Dampier. Like, don't count him.
So I mean, it's only Sawyer Robertson then.
Yeah. Okay, so just a little bit of hate towards the Big 12 is what I'm saying here. Yeah, that's a whole lot of not a love for the Big 12 there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's probably why BYU got left out. I'm gonna have to say that there's Big 12 bias.
I guess that was kind of like, obviously I'm not a BYU fan, but like the dude balled out last season. How do you leave him off the top 10? I mean, he accomplished more last year than Devin Dampier did.
Yeah, they're one win away from the Big 12 championship game. So
they were right there. And then I mean, I don't know. So I think Retzloff he's on some other lists, right? He's on some other top 10, top 15 ranked quarterback lists. But I was kind of curious to see, and this guy was very clear in his like explanation of his rankings that it's, you know, it was just kind of a fun flawed exercise. Like, this is just me kind of saying what I think. But it's, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. I'm excited. You know what I mean? Like, no doubt about it. I'm excited to see him. I'm going to be at the red and white game this week, and it should be a fun game to check out, and, you know, hopefully get to see these guys on the field. Yeah. Just a few more things on this. ESPN Plus had an article on it. They had their top 25. Thank you, Reddit, for sharing it, because ESPN put their stuff behind a paywall, which makes no sense to me. If you're still going to run ads on your platform, why you put things behind a paywall? But that's a discussion for another time. But he did not make their top 15. And on3.com doesn't even have him in their top 25. So, you know, very much take this as Tom's opinion and his rankings. And I agree with you, man. I'm excited to see it, but I'm taking it for what it's worth. It's a preseason stuff that isn't based off of anything but what he expects to have happen this year. Yeah. So it was fun, though. It was fun to read, for sure. Absolutely. And it's also fun to have something else to talk about. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. As a reminder, folks, we did just launch a channel specifically for your Utah football team, which is called Utah Football DNA. It's a channel dedicated to Utah football. All of our content will be posted here first. So if you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, a link to that channel will be in the description below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and don't miss out. We're going to put together a giveaway for this channel once it hits 1,000 subscribers. So be on the lookout for that. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on whatever that giveaway is once we decide to do it. Maybe some tickets or something. Yeah, absolutely. Fun.